Hi guys, in this video we are going to talk about the path operations. So in the previous lessons we learned how to create custom shapes using the pen tool, right? And we also learned how to download shapes from the internet and import them to Photoshop. And the objective behind using the pen tool is because if the shape that I want to use is not a geometrical or I cannot find it on Google, then with the pen tool, we can open one image and use our pen tool in shape mode to recreate it, right? So today that's what we are going to do, but with a slight change. Why? Because the only type of shape that we learned how to do was a closed one, like this one. But if you notice, I have here a 5 shape set, similar to what you're going to do, but some of these shapes, they have hollow parts on them, like this one, and I have others that have different parts, that they have hollow parts, but they have different parts, but as you notice, they are part of the same shape layer. So if you remember from the previous shape assignment, you saw that with the pen tool, we are able to create shapes, right? But if I want to create another shape, every time I do so, it goes to a separate shape layer. So how can I do to put shapes on the same shape layer, and how can I create holes or hollow spaces in a shape? So for that we have the path operations, and that's what we are going to learn in this video. And for that I'm going to use this car as an example. So in that assignment we searched for an image, for a reference image in Google, we placed it on Photoshop, and then we used the pen tool to trace it. So I already have my pen tool active in the shape mode. That's very important. I'm going to remove the fill and just put a regular stroke so I'm able to see what I'm tracing. And with your pen tool, you are just going to trace the shape of your like, okay? I'm going to do this super fast because I don't want to take a lot of time for this explanation, okay? So let me do this quickly. And once you're done with the shape, remember that you can use the direct selection tool, which is the white arrow, to modify and adjust those paths, right? We already had this lesson. So once you're done with the shape, if you notice, part of the shape are the tires, but they are separate from the car, and it should also have a hollow space in here. So how do we do that? If I select my pen tool again, and when I want to trace that window, it goes to a separate layer. So to do that, or to fix that, we have the path operations, which you can find here on the options bar when you have your pen tool active. And these are all the options that we have. So if you notice, we have the new layer active. That's why if you want to create another shape, or if you click to create another shape, it goes to a separate layer because that path operation is selected. But we have the combine shapes, the subtract from shape, intersect, and exclude. So let's see how they work. So basically what I want to do is to put the circles or the tires in the same layer. So for that we have the combine shape. Now with the name you may think, okay, but if it's combined, then when I put that shape, it's going to combine it with the other one that I have. And yes, you are right. But if you notice as well, this shape that you just created, even when it's combined with the original one or the first one, it remains independent at the same time. So they are combined, but they remain independent. So they can be edited separately even when they are part of the same shape layer. So that's what we are going to do with the tires. So that is the first shape mode, okay? And then the path operation, sorry. After that, we have the subtract from shape. So for example, this is the shape that I have selected, which is the car. So if I click here, whatever I put in front of that shape will become hollow. which is similar to the effect that we are looking for. It's not the only option, but it's one of those. And then we have the intersect shape areas. So that means that I'm only going to keep whatever is intersected in the previous shape and the second one that I created. Okay, that is the intersect. And finally, we have the last one, which is exclude overlapping shapes. So that means that instead of intersecting, if I put a separate shape in front of it, it's going to exclude that shape from the original, okay? And the last technique, when you use combined shapes, for example, you add one shape to the first one. They are they are combined, but I told you they remained separate, right? But if you want to combine, like actually merge both shapes, then when you add the modifications of your choice, I forgot to change the path. There we go. Combine shapes. When you finish doing the modifications, if you don't want those shapes to preserve their independence, you want to create just one, then you click where it says merge shape components, and that will give you just one shape. Okay, so let's review a little bit. To create one shape, or the first one, what we did was the new layer path operation, and then we trace the car, right? We trace the car. I'm going to do it square like that, so I don't take a lot of time. So that is my car, right? I closed my shape. How do I know that my shape is closed? Because I can fill it out. Now, with the subtract from shape or exclude overlapping shapes, with whatever any of those options, I am able to create the other shapes in my car. So if I did it correctly and I fill this shape, then I'm going to see the hollow parts in it. So what do I do for the tires? The right option would be combine shapes. So I can create the circles here. Okay, I can create the tires one with the same mode active. I can create the second one. So this way, you can create your own custom shapes that are combined. Did you notice this? I'm glad that happened. Let me go back really fast and let me show you what that happened. Because when I started creating the shapes, the one that I had selected was the window. I'm glad that happened. So the one that you need to have selected is the main one, or the original, the first one, because this is already edited. And then combine shapes, and you will create the tires. Do you notice that? Did you notice the difference? So you create the tires and you have at the end one full shape, but in the same layer. Okay, so now it's time for you to put these path operations into practice. I suggest you practice with geometrical shapes, or grabbing the pen tool and drawing stuff like this, like random stuff, so that you understand all the options that we have here before you jump into doing the assignment. Okay,